My name is Ray Quinn. I retired from the Army 6 years ago. I was a colonel. I was the Director of Artillery at the time. And so I'm now retired and enjoying retirement. I went into I joined the FCA when I was 13 years old. They were the good old days before health and safety and all the rest. You see, I was tall and lanky for my age, so it was acceptable at the time. So these guns here are 18-pounders. I was working the sights or operating the sights of this gun when I was 13 years old. And many years later, when I went to train with the British Army, I spent a year with them. And subsequently then I became the Director of Artillery. I was over purchasing, but they were quite surprised that a senior officer could operate the sights of a gun. And they were, I do say, they were impressed when I told them that I started doing it when I was 13 years old. All in all, I've spent 10 years overseas during my service in the Army. I've been to Cyprus as a very young officer, and then I was back there later on in my career. I did 2 tours to Lebanon. I did a 2-year trip to the Middle East then, so mainly focused in the West Bank and then up on the Golan Heights. And during that period also I had responsibility for, my operational area was Beirut, and this was the height of the Civil War, so we used to go there for a week to 10 days every month. In Lebanon it was a peacekeeping mission, so we were originally went there. We were supposed to supervise the Israeli withdrawal back to their own borders, but of course they didn't do so. And then there was the Lebanese Civil War, so we were involved in South Lebanon. When I was up on the Golan Heights, that was a totally different thing. That was a true supervisory mission. So we were just observing and reporting any violations of a ceasefire that had been negotiated way back in 1973 after the Arab-Israeli War. But also I had to go to Beirut for about 1 week in every month because I had a sectoral area of responsibility, and it was Beirut. That was the height of the Civil War, and that was really interesting to be going there at that time, because there were about 7 different factions, and at some stage every one of them had fought each other, and every one of them had been allied to each other. So it was an interesting hodgepodge, that's for sure. You know, when you're fired at, or when bullets pass close to you, or there's an explosion near you, it happens so fast. You dust yourself off, and you're either okay, intact, or you're not. And that's the way it has been for soldiers from time immemorial, certainly since the invention of gunpowder. But the other thing, there's very basic training. People look at the military and they say, why do they do all these stupid things, marching up and down the square, turn right, turn left, about turn, etc. There's actually moronic methodology behind that. And that is that you react instantly to drills that have been inculcated into you from time back. Like I would say, you come under fire. The first thing, I learned this when I was, 15 years old? Dash, cover, crawl, observe, fire. In other words, dash, get to cover. You don't come up, you don't go to cover and come up in the same. Crawl away, come up somewhere else. The same thing for, say, bayonet training. You point, parry the other fellow's thing, butt thrust, whack him with the butt thrust and kill. That's, it sounds as probably terribly moronic for civilians listening in, but soldiers have to understand these things, because when these things happen, you will be stressed. You may well be cold and frightened and maybe hungry as well. So the stupid little drills of the about turn, right turn, left turn and all the rest, you remember these drills and you react instinctively, and that's vitally important. Well, the one thing I'd say for the Army is this, that there's constant training, there's ongoing training all the time, so you're not just under pressure all the time, there's also immense variety in it. Like, I think they had an ad some time back when they were looking for people saying, a life less ordinary. And it really is a life less ordinary, because quite frankly, you don't know what you're going to be doing some days. You come in and maybe there's an incident has happened, or you're overseas, and some days it's quiet. Generally overseas, the way it works is it's boredom and boredom, followed by frantic activity, followed by boredom. But the ongoing training prepares you for this. And we do very good operational training before we go overseas, like battle simulations, etc., to basically just tire people out and stress them out and let them know what it's like to be under fire. So it doesn't come as a shock. But any time you're fired at, it's a surprise, that's for sure. My name is Ray Quinn. I retired from the Army 6 years ago, so I'm now retired and enjoying retirement.